Okay. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Reformed Reader, the channel where we review different forms of media through the lens of a Christian who is under the authority of the scriptures. My name is Josh, and today I am joined by some very special guests, special to me. These are men that maybe some of you guys are acquainted with, and if you aren't, you ought to be. So I decided to sort of do something a little bit different, and I wanted to have a conversation with some Christian brothers that love nerdy books like me. And rather than maybe just talk to other booktubers, I'm like, why don't I talk to some of the guys that are constantly commenting and that we're messaging back and forth on Instagram and stuff. And so all of these guys have been good friends and good brothers to me. And so I just want to say thank you guys for coming on. Welcome. Yay. We'll add all the cheers and applause and roars and stuff in post. And by that, I mean, I'm not going to do it because I'm too lazy. So just to kind of kick things off, I think we'll go around, I guess, this way. I'm having to do mirror image. So we'll go clockwise from me, and we'll just tell our names and maybe give our occupation, something about, I think that's maybe an easy thing for us to discuss. Plus, some of you have really cool jobs, by the way. So everybody knows me. My name's Josh. I am just a bald guy on YouTube that has internet. And I am a bridge inspector by trade in the state of Alabama. It's a pretty cool job, and it pays my bills. So what about you, Mr. Chris?
Wow. Okay. So, my name's Chris. Live here in California. My job that I get to do is I get to help equip churches for mercy ministry. So basically,
cool.
Yeah, so I specifically work with about 9 different countries in Africa, so I get to travel there frequently, which is really cool. So basically it's just equipping these churches to buy food resources and then go in the community that they're in to these people that don't have any connection to the church at all. They're needy. And these churches get these food packs and they take them over to these communities and they invite them into the church. And it's that whole methodology that is an evangelistic tool that brings people into the church, and I get to work with that. So it's awesome.
Oh, that's super cool. Okay.
Cool.
Hold on. Hard stop. Didn't know that. I'm going to get you to send me some information after this. Is there a way I can tag it down below?
Let's chat about that afterwards because we do have a policy, but we'll chat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Doug?
Oh man, I can't follow that up. That much up. Yeah, I'm Doug, or Faith and Fiction. I am living in Ohio, so not as cool as California. And I am a senior software developer where I develop warehouse solutions.
Hey man,
exactly. And I dwell in the basement. And I'm
But you get to work from home, right?
Yep, I get to work from home. It's nice.
Yeah, that would be
I don't have a lot. I thought it was going to be scary at first because I thought all my kids were going to keep running down and bother me more than people at work. But now that I'm at home, they don't come down. I don't have people coming left and right, so I have a lot of time to focus on my development. So
that's awesome.
Nice. That's good.
About you, Mr. Josh?
I'm Josh. I'm in the Portland, Oregon metro area. I manage workplace accommodations for people with disabilities who need assistance in either getting back to work or staying at work, and so managing under the federal ADA law or PWFA, the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. Love doing that. I mean, my job, it's cheesy, but I always tell people it gives me the warm fuzzies because I get to help people. And because those laws are very gray, we get to think outside of the box a lot of times. So we get to come up with some pretty creative solutions to people's unique situations. So definitely enjoy doing that.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. Everybody gets to serve people. I'm over here looking at steel and concrete.
For the Lord.
You're making sure people aren't driving off bridges. That's a good thing.
I guess so. It happens. All right. What about you, Mr. Zeke?
I'm Zeke. Everything on YouTube at Chrome Vader is my handle. So if you see me in the comments of Josh's videos, that Chrome Vader's me. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from middle of nowhere, Kansas. And I guess you'd call me a professional numismatist. I work with
say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, really. I work with rare coins at a major auction house.
Yeah. Some your videos. I think it's just that I'm getting older, and the older that I get, the more intrigued I am by history, and so he's posting these videos of like these rare coins and stuff. I'm like, that is super cool. Of course, my wife's like, "Are you looking at old coins?" I'm like, no. I'm looking at dragon books. Give me a minute.
Those reels they're fun to make, but I'm super awkward on camera. And Emily, the worker who does them with me, every time we're like inching further away from the camera.
Yeah,
I've been told we're going to be forced back to center next time.
Okay, well, we'll just go around and do a couple quick little questions, just sort of to get us warmed up. And so, what's the last book that you read, Chris?
Oh man, completed. Okay, so actually, I just completed Will of the Many, which I know you haven't read that one yet. Man, it was a good book. I'm so confused. I have no clue what's going on. I'm so confused. So I got the second one for my birthday, which I can't wait to dig into, but I've been neglecting Demon in White, so I'll hop into that. But Will of the Many, oh my goodness, it was good, but I'm confused.
What about you, Doug? It's the last thing you completed.
Well, I just completed it last night, and I was filming a review after this, and that is a little bit different than probably everyone's. It's A Tale of Three Kings.
Oh, okay.
Right here. So it was interesting. So it's just a kind of not a fairy tale, but a retelling of like Saul, David, and Absalom. So it's pretty nifty. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was necessary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was like necessary to read for like someone who has read that story over and over again, but for like someone who may not have, invested a lot of time in the Bible, it's a really good explanation of that whole lineage.
What about you, Josh?
No judgments, but I just finished it last night. The 4th Dungeon Crawler Carl book. Yeah, a lot of language, very crude, but super stupidly entertaining.
Oh yeah.
And I can truly say that out of every book so far has gotten better than the last. The stories, there's actually a plot thread that's starting to develop, which is nice. So it's not just I'm leveling up, I'm getting loot, I'm leveling up, I'm getting loot. So it's good, and I'm interested to see where the story is going. But the language can definitely be over the top at times. But I think that's almost purposeful at this point. Like he's like, let's see how far I can push the envelope.
it just threw me because I started listening to it. So I think if I would have read it physically, it wouldn't have, but like, I mean, I popped earbuds in and I kept hearing some, and then it was like right out of the gate. I'm like, whoops. I'll listen to Joe Rogan, I think. No, just
about on par.
Yeah. His language isn't as bad. No, I'm just kidding.
What about like the military equivalent though, true. The terminal list is very similar.
Yeah.
And the language.
That's true. That's true. All right, what's the last book you finished, Zeke?
I just reread a collection of Sherlock Holmes short stories and reminded myself that one of them is really, really good.
I've still never read them. I'm slowly working my way through some classics, and each one that I read, I notice like it makes me want to read more and bump them up on the list. So yeah, that one's on there. The last thing I finished, I don't have it with me. I actually don't have a physical copy. I finished Disquiet Gods last night. And,
oh my goodness,
man,
mind blown.
I'll have to save it for the reviewer. We'll be here all day. It's like, I have secretly been messaging Doug and our friend Matt a little bit about. I'm like, what? So yeah, there's some big moments there. It may hurt some people's feelings, but I think I still may like Ashes of Man more, simply because I'm a big ending guy, and I think the ending of Ashes of Man like literally made me cry, whereas this one I was more fist pumping and hyped for the next one. And so I finished it last night, and I'm so this leads me into we'll just keep going around. Chris, what's your favorite book you've read this year so far?
Oh man, that's so hard. I want to say Howling Dark, but for me, it was a pacing thing. I feel like
Yeah.
Dune Away is definitely going to be like the story that I'm gonna like. But if I had to pick one that just started it all, Empire Silence. I know that's probably not that like everybody.
Really?
I liked Empire Silence. It definitely like it drew me into reading more than just, hey, I'm reading this for information. Because I was reading some books that was getting me into reading, but Empire of Silence is what just threw me into like, hey, I want to read, The Will of the Many. I want to read Shadow of the Gods. I want to read all these different types of books. That's fun. So I have to say, the one that started all, Empire of Silence. I know that's not a normal thing.
That's
for everybody.
awesome, though. I'm glad because there's a few people out there that's like, that's my favorite book. But I'm glad. Yeah, I had clearly some issues with it, but by the end of it, dude, the end of that book, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's very, very, very good.
And I nerded out my entire church, by the way. Like,
good.
Like everybody's like, dude, Empire of Silence, we got to read it. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah. So I go to my church. I have a very small church. Like I think we have like 30 members. So we have maybe like 50 people in attendance. And so when I show up, they're like, here's that weirdo that reads dragon wizard books. Like, man, it's okay. Like, here, I'm going to start pushing this on you.
Yeah.
What about you, Doug? What's your, I think I may have an idea.
Honorable mention, Disquiet Gods. I think I've talked about that book the most, and in a nerd sense, that's my top. But Jaber Crow, it's by Wendell Berry. That book, I read it. There's not been a book that has impacted my soul more than that book. It's all about slowing down, growing up during the Great Depression and the Industrial. It's just I don't know, and everything he was equating to like a river and like how beautiful a river is and how no one notices these things anymore because they're just focused on the latest invention, the next thing to take your attention away. And it's just it blew my mind. I set that book down 10, 15, 20 times and just sat and stared at a wall. So
I've added it and East of Eden because of you. So I've got them both sitting on my Kindle waiting. Now I just have to get
East
to
of
it.
Eden 2 is fantastic. That was my last year's favorite. That's what kicked me out of like exclusively sci-fi and fantasy, and now I'm like 80% literary fiction and like 20% sci-fi and fantasy.
All right, Josh, best book you've read so far this year.
This might be a cheat because it's a book that holds multiple books. It's an omnibus, but I finished the entire Earthsea cycle this year by Ursula K. Le Guin. Never read it before, and finally just got the itch that I was like, I wanted to read some old school fantasy, and it really blew my mind. It's funny. I've got the big 25-pound omnibus volume, and she's got throughout the whole book, she has some narrative where she kind of explains her thought process behind writing each story and things like that, and she's very open about how the first 3 books in the cycle were geared toward kids and the last 3 books were definitely not geared toward kids. And but you're watching the characters grow across all 6 books, and so it's very interesting to see how her writing matured as the characters matured and the themes got more mature as it went along. Just great fantasy. Very well written, clear, concise, easy to read, but really good story.
Awesome. All right, Zeke.
Well, as you know, I have been a busy guy this year, so I have not read as much as I would have liked. That said, I'm going to have to say that Sherlock Holmes collection of short stories is probably the highlight so far for me, even though it's a reread. There's one in there. I believe the title is the Adventure of the Dancing Men, and it's all about. Obviously, it's a mystery, but Sherlock has to crack a cipher and catch the killer. So I highly recommend that one.
Okay, yeah. Mine's probably gonna be Ashes of a Man. It's gonna be hard to beat. I don't know that I'm going to be able to. I've actually got 2 books I'm supposed to read between now and Shadows Upon Time. We'll see. I do have to. I'm going to read Ordinary Grace with Josh over at Already Overbooked. If you guys don't know his channel is great. So I'm going to be doing a discussion with him next month. So I'm going to jump into that this afternoon. But yeah, Ashes of Man, I think, is going to be. Now, Sam did warn me and say that he thinks, he's like, Ordinary Grace is a different beast, but if you're looking for those moments, so he said, since he knows how much I like Boys Life, that he's like, yeah, get ready to get wrecked. So okay, all right, and two more. All right, favorite book of all time. Look, everybody's like, oh, that's disgusting. I'll go first.
Pick one. How do you pick one?
I'll go first and be the first cheater. Okay. And I'll say Lord of the Rings as a unit. Probably my favorite. And now, excluding scripture. Okay. So I'm just like, because I knew it was coming. Somebody's going to be like, you didn't say the Bible. I'm like, okay, excluding, I'm talking about piece of fiction or maybe nonfiction aside from scripture. It's probably going to be Lord of the Rings, just because the story has impacted my life so much. Some people some of you guys maybe be like, yeah, you're just a kid. But I remember going to the theater as a kid, seeing Fellowship of the Ring for the first time, and there was nothing like it. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. And I was like, what is going on? And so immediately had to dive into that. And it was just, Middle Earth was a comfort to me in a lot of ways growing up. Middle Earth, and, I've said it's a tie between it and Harry Potter. But it's because of those worlds are so vast. And when you jump into them, they feel lived in. And so it almost feel like I want to read Lord of the Rings again, just so I can go hang out in the Shire for a little while, that kind of stuff. It's the same with Harry Potter. I just want to go hang out at Hogwarts for a little bit. I think as far as like an impact on me, I think Lord of the Rings probably takes the cake. All right, Chris.
Man. Okay. So I'm going to cheat a little bit here because the book I'm going to talk about later, that one's a favorite of mine, but I gotta save that one. Because if I talk about it now, it's going to ruin it. So
same problem.
I'll go ahead and just plug a book that had the most impact on me in my entire life outside of the Bible. And it's this book called 12 Ordinary Men by John MacArthur. The reason,
so good.
Yeah, the reason why that book is so impactful to me is because when I read that, and there's a story behind it, but I'll save it. I picked it up randomly, and I just became a Christian, so I was fresh out the box, and when you first become a Christian, you're just like, oh my goodness, like there's so many people that are just so much more mature than me. I feel like I'm just struggling with the same things. And that was the first book where I was like, oh my goodness, Jesus really just took like the bottom of the barrel people and he did so much with them, especially the chapter on Peter, which is the chapter, it's called The Disciple with the Foot-Shaped Mouth. And if anyone could relate with that, it's me. I am constantly sticking my foot in my mouth.
That's good.
And my goodness, that got me into just reading stuff outside the Bible and finding good teachers that could help enrich me in my faith. And I just really love that book. I still have it. It's in here somewhere amongst all this. But yeah, 12 Ordinary Men, John MacArthur, hands down, probably one of the best, most impactful books I've ever read.
I'm over here like, oh, one with dragons and wizards.
I was like, man, dude, should I really know enough?
Over here dunking on me, All right, here comes Doug. He's about to as well. I guarantee it.
No, the Brothers Karamazov.
Ooh, okay.
By Dostoevsky. The thing I love about it the most is it is widely a lot of people's favorite, or they talk about it a lot. And what's interesting is I'll watch a lot of like philosophy channels just to get that side of the world who they're not religious, and Dostoevsky, who's openly in Christian forward, like his books are defense of Christianity in my opinion, and they're their favorite books. So like I think the seeds that Dostoevsky plants with his books, especially the Brothers Karamazov, where I think that's the most blatant one of like, hey, there's these three brothers, one of them is a Christian, and with everything bad happening, at the end, while he goes through his own struggles, comes out, I wouldn't say on top, that's like the wrong way to say it, but comes out on the other side. And I love that. And I just love the fact that even people who are against Christianity or aren't in love with Christianity love that book. I think that speaks volumes.
I've got it behind me. I was like, okay, I know I got it back here somewhere. It's like that thick.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's on the list for next year. So
and it's dense and dense.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, Josh.
All right, I'm gonna make you feel a little bit better because I'm gonna go on a little bit more of a lighter note, and it's a tie again. It's a tie between The Hobbit and Redwall.
Oh man,
both of these
yes.
books were what really got me into reading as a kid. I got them at the Scholastic Book Fair. I know we all miss book fairs. I wish adults had book fairs. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
But I picked them up at school. Well, unfortunately, it's a lot easier to get them now. But yeah, I picked them up at a book fair and read them and reread them and reread them, and they really are what sparked my love for reading.
Man, those Redwall books are they're slept on. They're so good.
They are.
They're so good. All right, Zeke.
I've thought about this. I think I've got to cheat a little bit and
cheat away.
Pick a series that I read as a teenager. Okay. It's called the O'Malley series by D. Henderson. I believe it's romantic suspense, heavy on the suspense. She's a Christian author, though. And the thing that it's been some years since I've read the series, but there's 7 books, including the prequel. And this was the conclusion of this series was the first time that I broke down in tears reading a book. And for that reason, even if the story is not as profound as Lord of the Rings, or it's not as deep as, say, East of Eden, the story is irrelevant. It was the experience for me as the reader that makes it stick in my mind.
Man, I'm never going to get to every book that I have. There's no way. Okay, and rapid fire, your most anticipated book that you're looking forward to reading.
Shadows Upon Time. I want to get there. I really want to get there.
About you, Doug?
Time.
Man,
time. I started reading the arc, and I'm like, I spent so much. I don't listen to like many big series, but I listened to that series, and I'm like, I missed the voices. So I'm like, I can't read it myself.
Samuel Rukin is the man.
He is, and he made me attached to them. So I'm like, now I'm starting to listen to that today.
Can I like throw a pin there and say, I read. Maybe this won't spoil anything for anybody. I don't think it will, but I read the first 2 books without any audio. I get to the 3rd book and I start reading and listening. So that way I can just kind of ingest the story. And I got to Doraica. Got to his character. Dude, worst decision ever. The voice was so bad, which I mean, it was probably Christopher Rocchio's direction. But in my opinion, the voice was so bad that when I would get to chapters where I knew he was in it, I would wait and physically read it, because you think it's this like big looming like monster creature that's going to have this like real rich deep voice, and he's like, and then he said, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. I'm like, okay, I can't handle that, but okay, yes, I'm with you though. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, most anticipated.
I gotta piggyback. Yeah, Shadows Upon Time.
Man, really?
And it's killing me because I have the whole collection in paperback, so that means I gotta wait a year unless my library gets it, which I know they won't. So it's I'm gonna have to just sit here and skip a bunch of everybody's videos because I'm not gonna want to get spoiled.
All right, Zeke.
It's Garden the Garden. It's still on the to be read stack with several others that I'm also looking forward to, but that one's on the top of the stack, so that's the most anticipated.
It's so good. That one pulled me out of a reading slump like nothing else I really expected it to. It was exactly what everybody described it as, and yet still somehow subverted my expectations. That is the biggest like contradiction ever. But it was when I'm explaining these things to my wife or to my brothers, a lot of times like she'll be like, "What's your book about?" I'm like, "It's to put it in Jerry Seinfeld's terms, it's a book about nothing." You know, it's like it's a dwarf book about nothing. And then she was like, "Great." I'm like, it was so good. But yeah, that's a great one. Let's see. For me, I probably would say Shadows Upon Time. Just to change things up, I'm going to throw in Will of the Many, which I think I'm going to try to get to in December. Depends. I honestly think I'm probably going to end up reading the last Sun Eater book, and I saw the physical copies and they are like that thick. So I figure that'll be my big series, and then probably Will of the Many somewhere around Christmas. But man, James Allington, yeah, he's sold me. So I mean, he can write stuff on a napkin, and I'll probably buy it just to support him. He's a good dude, and he's an excellent writer. So okay, cool. All right, well, since we've wasted a lot of everybody's time, we're going to go to agree or disagree. So for anybody at home, I'm just going to throw a prompt out. We're going to throw up our green books for agree and our red books for disagree, and then I'll pick somebody for each camp and see if we can see what the reasoning is behind it. So let's start off. I'm gonna kind of start off easy, and then I'm gonna throw some more controversial ones in. So the first one is going to be paperbacks are better than hardcovers. Oh, okay.
As I hold up a hardcover.
All right, so let's go with the agree. So Zeke, why are paperbacks better?
It's because when I pick up a book, it's all about the story, and I couldn't care less if how pretty of a cover it is most of the time, if I know the story is going to be good or if it's been recommended to me. And the paperback's just easier to lay down on the couch with. I don't have to feel bad about wrinkling the pages.
Chris is over there disgusted. Well, why are hardbacks better?
Because when I'm holding a paperback, I feel like I'm holding a baby. Okay. No. Like, okay, so I got Demon in White, and I got it through Amazon, and it came in scratched up.
Oh man,
I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, but when I have a hardcover, like, look, I'm on the go all the time, so I enjoy something that can take a beating. You know what I mean? Because I'm just shoving stuff in my backpack and running out the door. So yeah, I don't get me wrong. I will read a paperback. It's fine. But yeah, I'm just so delicate. I'm trying not to break the spine and everything. Yeah. But yeah, I have to be so delicate with it.
Break the spine.
Oh no, dude, no.
That should be a crime against humanity. Either none of your spine should be broken, or all of them should be like, I'm talking just destroyed. If it's somewhere in the middle, like no.
I will concede on one point. A friend of mine loaned me a sci-fi book a couple of years ago to read. It was like a 70s printing in pristine condition. She was like, "Read this," and I was like, "It's paperback."
Oh, yeah.
So I'm reading half a page and then turning a little more and reading, trying not to break the spine.
All right, number 2. Fantasy is better than sci-fi. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. All right, Josh. So why is sci-fi better?
I think I'm a break even, right? So I probably should have held them both up because I'm such a mood reader. Like I'm not one of these folks that plans my year out in advance or anything. So it really is whatever strikes me in the moment. So I think that in some instances I'm going to feel like fantasy is better, and in other instances I'm going to feel like sci-fi is better. So I'm probably right down the middle.
I probably would have completely non-hesitating green. until this year. And then I read Sun Eater. I'm like,
Pretty mind blowing.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna cheat and say there's some fantasy in there, so still better. No, just for me personally, like I love sci-fi. I honestly figured Zeke would be like, nope. He's Chrome Vader, you know. But for me, fantasy, like the difference between, I'm with you. I like them, but I like them both. But there's something about starting fresh and jumping into a new world and just being like, oh, I can put all of my cares and worries and troubles of this life away, and I can go and hang out with that dwarf, you know, in that small town, or I can go hang out with the hobbits, or I can go slay dragons. And sci-fi takes a little more, and this is, I'm obviously speaking in generalized terms, but sci-fi definitely takes up more brain power to get into. There tends to be predominantly, at least from what I've read, and I'm not as well versed in sci-fi, but from the sci-fi I've read, a lot of times they talk around a concept and less so the plot. Not always. And the good ones, in my opinion, the great ones are able to do both. But like, I love Blake Crouch's books, but Blake Crouch's characters are kind of lacking because it's sort of like, okay, here's a dude in this crazy situation. It's like, yeah, I kind of want to learn about this guy too. So in my opinion, I think personally, if I had one of them had to be burned, it's like, I guess I'm going to go with fantasy. Okay. This one's going to be a good one. Harry Potter is overrated.
Ooh. Oh man. Yeah.
All right, Josh, why is Harry Potter overrated?
I'll be honest with you. So I think probably the reason I feel that way is because Harry Potter was not written for somebody to read in their 40s.
Okay.
And so I read it in my 40s and I'm just like, man, this is derivative. It's poorly written. I could not, I couldn't get into it. It was, but I wasn't the target audience. Right. And that's the beauty of books, is that everything's so subjective that just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it's bad. You know, and I know that it got a whole generation into reading, so I'm not going to fault it for that. Definitely wasn't for me.
Yeah. All right, Doug, it's not overrated.
Oh, I'm not the best defense for this, but to me, it's nostalgia. I loved it growing up. I think in a sea of YA slop, it shines. I think now, you know, the movies add to that. The movies were fantastic. All these new additions that they're bringing out. I just think it's continuing to change the experience of consuming it, and that's just what I love about it. And it's what got me into fantasy as a kid. Like I saw the first movie. My parents didn't want me to see it, but I saw the first movie, and I fell in love with it. So it holds a special place in my heart. But I think even without that nostalgia factor, it would still be not overrated.
All right, let's throw one in for just the time of year. Christmas decorations should not go up until after Thanksgiving.
I don't want to make my wife mad, but it's already
yes. It's we completely disagree. Good. So we would have our tree up year round if it was up to my daughter. I'm like, and to be frank with you, it would be up almost year round if it was up to me. I am a Christmas nut. Like, I want every light that I can find on my house. I want the tree up. I'm talking before Halloween. Like the day before Halloween, my daughter was like, "Can we put the tree up yet?" I'm like, "No, because your mom will strangle me if we do." You know. So for the sake of your mother, we will wait 2 days, and then she's just going to have to learn to cope. Okay. This one, this is going to be a good one. Listening to audiobooks counts as reading. Ooh. I'm sort of in the middle. Okay. And because I want there to be a defense for it one way or the other. I'm going to say it doesn't to a degree. So if you're talking about, my wife and I, as I'm sitting here writing these down last night, my wife was like, it doesn't. And I'm like, okay, well, here we go. And it was like a 45-minute debate between the two of us, And so we're sitting there looking up like the Merriam-Webster definition of reading and the Oxford Dictionary version of reading. And every one of them says to be able to pertain or to examine information by looking at it. Right. And so I'm like, okay, I'm on board. But if we're going to be consistent, because according to the Oxford Dictionary, reading Braille counts as reading, right? But their definition says it must be with your eyes. And so I'm like, they're inconsistent first and foremost. And so if you're going to make a consistent argument across the board, if it's only with your eyes, then Braille can't count either. But if you include Braille because you're using a different sense, then you also have to include audiobooks because you're using a different sensation to ingest the story or to be entertained by the story or to understand and articulate it. So I'm sort of like as far as like just a hardcore definition, if it's you have to look at it with your eyes, then I guess maybe it isn't completely qualified. But in a general term, when we're talking about like, hey, I read a book, I'm not going to point to Chris and say Chris didn't read this book. He has to say he listened to it, which was my wife's argument. I'm like, well, do you want us to say, yeah, well, I haven't read that book, but I've listened to it. She's like, yes, that's what I want you to say. Well, too bad. So, cause I've read it. So I'm sort of on the fence. So I'm going to pitch this one to Chris.
Okay. Yeah. And here I am. I'm about to finish the 5th book in the Dresden Files because you put me onto that. So yeah. So here's what I would say. I think when we read a book, within about a month or two, we'll remember certain pieces of it and like the most important points, but not everything specifically. When we when we listen to an audiobook, I would say that time that takes us to forget those like bits of information is probably a lot faster because when I'm listening to it, I'm listening to the book when I'm driving, when I'm washing dishes, or I'm doing something that just doesn't require me to sit down. So there are times where I have to even rewind because I'm like, man, I just spaced out on something and I have no clue what's going on. I'm in this pivotal point and I don't even know how I got here. So I think it counts as reading because if you want to immerse yourself into it more, it does count. I just think that time of forgetting those important bits of information is just a lot faster when you've audiobooked that book as opposed to reading it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. And the thing that I think has, that's going to change some people's minds. Well, first and foremost, Sam did an excellent sort of, I guess you call it a video essay on this. And he actually explained how he thinks that listening to audiobooks is better than reading. It's fantastic. I highly recommend you guys go listen to it. He's far more analytical and articulate than I am. But for me, like if we're talking definitionally, definitions change over time. And so like, that's why the word yeet is now in our dictionary, right? It's like, yes, like that was not in the dictionary 10 years ago. And now it is. And it's the same with the word literally. So my father-in-law and I were talking about this last night. The word literally used to mean literally, but now it doesn't. It means that, but it also means the opposite pretty much, right? Like my leg is literally killing me. Like, is it though? But according to the new definition of it, that it's accurate. And so I'm like, okay, so if definitions can change, then I think we'll see reading, the definition of reading change from it being to look at with your eyes to be consuming a story, which my wife's argument, and it's a good one, is if that's the case, then would watching a movie be considered reading? Because then you're just ingesting a story with a different sense. I'm like, for consistency's sake, I'm going to argue and say yes. So I don't know. I think we're in sort of we've muddied the waters with audiobooks. And I'm glad we have, because if it wasn't for that, there's no way I'd be able to get to these books.
Oh yeah,
And one other
parents
thing
couldn't
too-
read.
Yeah.
Parents
Yeah.
couldn't read without audiobooks.
Well, so we've got this boy at church that he's just got the kindest heart. His name's Denver, and he and my wife are just like best buds. So every time my wife shows up to church, he runs up to her and he like gives her a hug, right? And so I'm like, okay, how about this? I will concede to you that listening doesn't count as reading. Okay. And she was like, okay. I said, all right. So if that's the case, though, I will concede on this with this one contingency, which is Denver has read The Hobbit through audiobook. That Sunday you have to go to church and walk up to him and tell him he hasn't read The Hobbit. And she was like, not doing it. So yeah, I personally think that it does, because reading has a broader definition, I think, than it used to, but I can see the argument. Okay. All right. Dragons are the best fantasy creature. Oh, okay. All right. Is there any that might be a close second for anybody?
I mean, it depends on the world, right?
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I mean, let's say all other ones have to cease to exist, and you can only be left with one. I would definitely be like, I'm on board with dragons 100%. But that means no elves. That means no dwarves. That means no orcs. Pretty much, I mean, any of those kinds of creatures. That means no griffins, no fill in the blank. And so it's like, oh man, because without elves and dwarves, yeah, you're really lacking some of these heavy stories. But for me, I'm like, a fire breathing dragon. Yeah, it's biblical. All right. Well, we all agreed on that one. I was really surprised. Okay. The next one, Darth Vader is the best fictional villain. Oh, okay. Doug.
You want me to explain? Oh man, see, I started my account 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, I
with
wrote
Star
this one
Wars.
for you and Zeke. I was like, "Watch this."
And I love Vader's character arc, so I could go either way here, and he holds a special place in my heart. Maybe I'm just vindictive because of like recent canon. I just can't read it. I wasted so much time reading the High Republic and reading everything just to put it all down. So he's great. He's dimensional. Like I said, his arc is fantastic, but I just can't put him as the best.
Is there one that comes to mind? Like who was the first one that popped in your head?
No one popped in my head. My brain just said I can't commit to it.
All right, Zeke, why is he the best, and why are you correct?
I will preface by saying I may be a tiny bit biased because I really love Star Wars. But you know, we'll trim it down to just the canon movies, for example, to keep this. Vader is, when he's introduced, every movie he's introduced where he is already Vader, he is menacing on screen, and it's really effective on that front. He's also the right amount of powerful, but yet not quite omnipotent compared to the other characters. But for me, he embodies who Luke could be if Luke didn't reject the dark side. In a literal sense, when you go back through the whole arc of Anakin, but in a metaphorical sense, even isolated to the original trilogy. And I think that perfect complement of Luke's arc is what makes Vader the best villain.
I can't not chime in here and say, show me a more menacing scene than the end of Rogue One.
Yes, that's
Like
the best 2 minutes of cinema ever
yes.
created.
Yeah, I was very mid on Rogue One. I'm like, it's fine. And then I got to that scene. I'm like, I will pay to watch this movie 6 more times in the theater for that scene. That was awesome. So good. So good. Okay. Moving on. Well, since this, I think I'm going to post this probably either Thanksgiving or Black Friday. Probably Black Friday, because I don't want somebody to see my video pop up on Thanksgiving and then have to, interrupt their dinner and stuff. But just to keep it sort of relative, that dressing is better than stuffing. What? Oh no. Oh no! What's wrong with you? Okay. I'm gonna preface this and then I'm gonna throw these at you guys. So the stuffing that I'm referring to is like the Stouffer's celery sponge. So, Chris, argue why it's not better.
Oh my goodness! I was hoping we would call the villain, but whatever. Look, man. Hey, this is a Romans 14 thing, man. I like stuffing. All right, man. Like I don't need to defend it. I like it. It's my thing.
All right, Josh.
Well, I was going with the technical. Stuffing is
yeah.
something that you cook in the bird, whereas dressing
Yes.
is something that you make on the
Yes.
side. And so, in my opinion, I think it just absorbs the flavor and all that stuff, whereas dressing is just you have to make it right. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, I've had a lot of really bad versions of both.
Yeah. Oh man, we grew up with that Stouffer's stuffing, and it was just like, this is the nastiest thing. Why do we keep buying this? It's Oh no, it's terrible. It's terrible. That stuff's the Black Plague. Okay, Christian fiction is not very good. Ooh, yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, Josh. Give us your mixed opinion.
I mean, I've read some stuff that's just like dialed in and nails, and it's great. But then there's a lot of stuff that I feel like gives the genre a bad rap as a whole, right? I mean, in like I love some Ted Decker, some Frank Peretti. Frank Peretti writes some great, suspense / horror type books, but then I mean, there's some stuff out there that's not very good. I'm not going to name names on the not very good part because I don't want to be mean, but it's the same in fantasy, right? It's the same in sci-fi and everything. Like, there's good and bad out there.
Okay, Chris. You don't.
Look, man, I'll just say this. There are people who have certain theological persuasions, and they are just shoving it down the throat.
That's a good point.
With every single page. And it's not that I haven't given it a shot. I won't mention names because I don't want to put everybody's favorite down, but I will say that, there's certain aspects of theology that are so off biblically that just reading it is painful, So I'm reading it. I'm like, dude, okay, I don't know how much you're going to say about this aspect of theology or how this is wrong or how God's sovereignty is this.
Sure.
So personally, I just think it's really hard to nail that one because much like with, churches, we're not all going to agree theologically, but when you're shoving an agenda down my throat, I don't like it.
Can I would like to recommend two, which you guys have probably seen on the channel if you've been watching all, but the first is A.C. Wilson, My Father's Land. This is excellent. This is the one where he has put his like content warnings or whatever on the back. Fantastic. And it is labeled as Christian fiction. And then the other is the one that I'm holding up, which is Deathless Beast. So this is the Collation Saga by Andrew D. Meredith. And these are, if you liked Will of the Many, from what I understand, so this is going to be like one of the main series that I read next year. I've talked to Andrew quite a bit. He's a good brother. And so Sam has told me, he's like, get ready, hold on to your theological seat, because the way that he kind of plays around with it in this is next level. So yes, highly recommend those two. And the last one, which is that they should make more God's Not Dead movies. Okay, good. I figured we'd end on a banger, right? It's like, okay, we've got God's Not Dead 13. I think we get it. And how many, how do you guys have an agreement with Kevin Sorbo to keep him on retainer or what? I don't really know what's going on. Okay. So we can put our agree and disagree away. We're going to move on to our book pitches. So I'm going to let you guys each pitch a book to me, and try your best not to give the title or a character name away or something like that. And I'm going to pick one of the 4 to read for next month. So we'll just let's go counterclockwise this time. So let's go with Zeke first.
Okay. Do you want genre?
No, no, doesn't matter.
Okay. Hopefully this works. A 12-year-old girl lives with her troubled father, a bookbinder, who is secretly protecting a very rare and mysterious book. One night, a mysterious man who seems to know much about something hidden from the girl shows up and wants the book, which her father refuses to give up. But the mysterious man tells him something that starts the characters on a dangerous journey with a mysterious villain who changes everything the girl thought she knew about her father, and just maybe also reveals the truth about what happened to her mother on a stormy night long ago.
Okay. I'm intrigued. All right, Josh.
All right. So this novel takes place in the Napoleonic Wars. It combines high seas naval action with a lot of battles, chases, constant threat of enemy ships, and a deep dive into the nuances of the 19th century life in the Royal Navy. And in my opinion, the whole series is probably the best depiction of platonic love between men, right? So nothing romantic, but just that deep, deep, abiding friendship.
Okay. All right, Doug. Hit me.
All right, I didn't write this down from the heart. So a pastor from a long line of pastors is passing away, and he's writing a letter to his son. And while his intentions were just to tell him things that he thought he ought to know throughout his life, it ends up being a therapeutic session where he's realizing things about himself as well.
Okay. All right, Chris.
All right, so I'm going to read something and then I'll kind of do some stuff off the cuff. So this story is a story of a man who tries to build his life on experiences that feel meaningful in the moment. As he chases after these things, the weight of his choices begins to shape him in ways that he cannot escape. The whole narrative feels like Ecclesiastes without the repentance, an exploration of vanity, corruption, and the quiet ruin that comes from pursuing everything except wisdom. And I would say the whole book reads like a letter of repentance, and the author is not even a Christian.
Dang.
When I did this with Sam, and I started first, I was like, man, why didn't I pick that? Okay. All right. Man. Okay. I'm going to go with Zeke. It sounds whimsical. So what book is it?
It's Inkheart by Cornelia Funk.
Oh, okay. All right.
Funk is spelled Funke.
I've actually seen it. So, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's technically YA, but you can totally read it as an adult and enjoy it.
Okay, what about you? Because I'm writing all these down because even though I might read this one in December, I'm probably reading all of them. So, all right, Josh, so what was yours?
Master and Commander by Patrick O'Brien.
Okay, funny story. When Samwise first started messaging me, he's like, your last name's O'Brien? I told him it was. And he's like, that'd be so crazy if you were related to Patrick O'Brien. I'm like, I am. And he's like, are you serious? And I said, yeah, like my ancestors were fresh off the boat in Ellis Island and all that. And I went on this big, long lie. He was like, dude, that is so crazy. It's one of my favorite books ever. And I was like, yeah, I'm just kidding. He's like, you're a jerk. I told my wife, and I go, but I am actually related to Conan O'Brien. Really? He's like, yeah, because my dad's from upstate New York, and we got tickets one time when we couldn't go. He's like, "That's awesome." Like, yeah, it's a lie too. You know? He's like, dude, I'm sure we are related somewhere down the line because it's my wife did like all of our ancestry stuff, and I'm like, somebody asked me what my nationality was one time. I'm like, I am white. Like I'm as white as you can get, you know. So O'Brien. So we're all related. Okay, Master and Commander. That one's actually, I've got that one. So I'll just bump it up on the list. Okay, Doug, what was yours?
Gilead by Marilyn Robinson.
Okay. And Chris.
Oh man, the one that started it all, The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh, I've got that one, but I haven't read it.
Oh, brother, you are in for a trip. When you read it, please let me know. I will nerd out with you on this book all day.
Sounds good. Okay, so for December, it'll be Inkheart, and then I may just like throw one of these up for each month until I knock them out. Cool. Really looking forward to it. All right. So we're gonna move on to the one I was really looking forward to, which is we're going to play 2 truths and a lie. Okay. Now I'll go first. So the way the game will work is I'll give you 3 prompts. One of them is clearly false. The other 2 are 100% the truth. And if you guess the correct one, meaning if you guess which one is a lie, you get 1 point. If none of you get it, I get a point. And that's what we'll do it for each one of us. Now, whoever wins, whoever has the most points at the end, you will be receiving a prize. So, all right.
Are you keeping track of points, or do we need to?
Yeah, I got it. I got them. Okay. And when I ask, I'll ask, which one, if you think it's 1, 2, or 3, you can just hold up your hand or whatever works for you. So, okay. So here's prompt number 1. I was a professional MMA fighter for 5 years. Prompt number 2. I proposed to my wife atop an African waterfall. Prompt number 3. I spent many nights as a teen climbing buildings in my city in a ninja suit. 1, 2, or 3. Which one is the lie? Ooh, okay. Chris got it right. So no, I was not a professional MMA fighter. I have trained for a long time, but I hate competing. I am not a competition guy. I just love training. It's fun. So just to give you, yes, I did propose to my wife on top of the source of the Nile River in Uganda on a mission trip. So that was super cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was one of those where like I had to carry it through security, and I'm like, this is going to get ruined at every airport. Did not happen. Praise God. And then they told us we were going to be going up a pontoon boat up the Nile River and see a waterfall. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll do it then. And then we get there and they go, so who wants to get off? And we were like, what? They said, yeah, if you pay us $20, you can go to the top. And so, yeah, I was like, hey, guess what? We're going to the top. She's like, oh, I really don't. She was really sick the whole time. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going. She's like, oh, okay. And we get to the top and she was not happy with me. she was like, I cannot believe. She's like, you wouldn't let me wear earrings because it's not safe. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then, yeah, the third one, unfortunately is true. So my brothers and I would terrorize our local town, a small city, in ninja suits, like full ninja suits, and climb every building that we could find. To the extent of there is now a reputation for that small city that has ninjas. So, so unfortunately, that is true. Okay, so Chris got a point. All right, so we'll just go to Chris. All right, Chris.
Okay, so here's my first one. So I served in the Marine Corps with one deployment to the Middle East. I live with one of my favorite authors. And number 3, I can speak 2 languages fluently. Okay, the lie was number 3.
Oh, man. All right,
it's more, it's more than 2.
What's that?
Is it more than 2?
No, no. I actually only I'm Spanish, but I can't speak a lick of Spanish at all. Like I sound terrible even ordering at Taco Bell. It's bad.
my brain said you knew like 5, so I'm glad I was right, but in the wrong.
That's where I was going too. Yeah.
No. Yeah, so I served in the Marine Corps, so I saw all your Air Force stuff, and I was like, that's pretty cool, but picked the wrong branch. It's all good.
It's my daughter, so we're gonna have to fight now.
Oh, nice. So I live in a duplex with one of my favorite authors. His name is Dr. John Street. He writes incredible theological work. He's a dear friend of mine. So I don't even know how the Lord worked that all out, but
That's awesome.
Yeah, I live with one of my favorite authors. It's amazing, and he's my professor, so he's awesome.
Yeah, he better be.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to deal with him either way. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Doug, you're up.
All right. So we got, I love cold pizza. I've been on national television, and I live next to Thomas Edison's birthplace.
Oh man, across the board.
That was national television, right? I forget the order I put them in.
Yes. No,
Yes.
this was cold pizza.
Cold pizza.
Oh yeah, that you all got it right.
Yes.
So, I have season tickets to the Lions. Well, I don't go to many games anymore now that we have kids, so my dad goes to all of them. But we're in the background, so I wasn't really on TV, but I was on TV, so it counts, right? There's not many national televised Detroit Lions games back in the early 2000s.
It's like Mike Wazowski. I'm on TV. You know, it's that thing covering up his face.
That was me, a goal post right in the middle of my face. And
that was a good one.
Yeah, Thomas Edison lives. Well, he doesn't live there anymore. He was born like 5 houses down.
So you're not a fan of cold pizza, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Not a fan of pizza.
Yeah, brother. Oh, I was almost like man after my own heart, and then you just threw it in the garbage, dude. That's because you haven't had good pizza yet. That's what we're going with. All right, Josh, you're up.
All right. I have 2 kids, ages 30 and 20. I've been married twice. I have never been divorced.
Ooh. Oh, man, that's a hard one.
Piggybacking.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, sir.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, why not?
All right.
So the lie is that I have 2 kids, ages 30 and 20. My kids are 29 and 20.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
And my wife and I were married twice together. We had 2 ceremonies.
That's awesome. All right. All right, Zeke, you're up.
Okay. First one. I am proficient in carpentry and woodworking. Number 2, I am an avid angler in my free time. Number 3, I once drove all over the country for the sole purpose of photographing churches.
Oh. All right, we're all over.
Which the lie is number 2. I do not fish.
Yes. Man, that was a good one. All right, hold on. Okay, so you went all over the country to take pictures of churches?
Yeah, so a buddy of mine from church actually, a number of years ago, he set out to make a gigantic Bible quiz game, and for some of the artwork, we carpooled all over the country to photograph various LCMS churches around the nation, everywhere from Washington State to the New England to Florida to Las Vegas. I mean, you name it.
That's pretty cool. All right. Okay. All right. Round 2. So at the end of round 1, Zeke has 2 points. Josh, you have 1. Chris has 3. Doug has 2, and I have 3. All right. So I've got a common thread here with mine. I have to read them, otherwise it's going to be bad. I had a brief discussion with Joe Rogan on the streets of New Orleans. Number 2, I've played guitar with Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge and Creed. And number 3, I have Chuck Norris's personal cell phone number.
Ooh.
So, conversation with Joe Rogan in New Orleans. Number 2 was play guitar with the guitarist from Creed and Alter Bridge, Mark Tremonti. And number 3 is I have Chuck Norris's personal cell phone number.
There's no way you actually have his number.
Ooh. So the lie is that I did not have a conversation with Joe Rogan in New Orleans. I did have a conversation with Randy Couture on the streets of New Orleans, which was awesome. Randomly saw him back in 2009, and it was like the height of his career. And we ran into him, and my brother's like, "Hey, there goes Randy Couture." And we're like, "You would have stopped him." And he's like, "Ah, that's him." Didn't want to bother him. And we ran up. It was him. He was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm going to film a movie with Sylvester Stallone." It was The Expendables at the Harrah's Casino. And he was just walking by himself. It was really weird, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, so my wife bought me guitar clinic tickets last year to go play guitar with Mark Tremonti and do like a private lesson. Super cool. Got to play through his rig on stage. It was awesome. He's like my guitar guy. And the third one, I do have Chuck Norris's personal cell phone number. So, the guy that taught Chuck Norris jiu-jitsu, his name is Carlos Machado, and he's a cousin of the Gracies. And so they were all centralized in Los Angeles after they moved from Rio. And Chuck Norris was filming different things there. When he went to film Walker, Texas Ranger in Dallas, I believe, he had to move, and he paid for Carlos to move with him, and he would train and teach him jiu-jitsu between scenes. And so Carlos is like our affiliate school out in Podunk, Alabama. And so Carlos has come down several times, and each time he's told us some wild stories, by the way, some really, really good ones. And I was in charge of taking payments from everybody. And so I was asking him stuff about Chuck Norris, and he's like, "I actually have his cell phone number." I'm like, "Give it to me." And he's like, I don't know that I can. And so he looked around and he goes, "Only because you've helped me with, all my money stuff." And he's like, "I didn't give it to you, but just look at it real quick." And so I have not called it, but I do have it on standby just in case anybody wants to mouth off, So, all right. So let's see. So that was Chris. Who got it correct? That was number 1.
I didn't.
All right, Josh. Oh, Josh and Doug. Okay. All right, Chris.
Okay, man, I can't think of a truth one, which is crazy. So I'm just going to say what I have written down here. Okay, so 1, I travel frequently to Africa for work. Number 2, I was on the varsity cheer squad with my sister in high school. And number 3, I once auditioned for a reality TV show.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, the lie was number 3.
Ah.
Yeah, so just to be really, really clear, I was the mascot, okay?
Hey, man, it's okay. It's all right. No worries.
Hey, I had to look out for my sister, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's what we'll go with. That's your story. Stick it to it.
And then, as you guys know, I traveled to Africa, 9 different countries. It's an awesome thing I get to do. So praise the Lord for that. And then for number 3, though I never auditioned for a reality TV show, I used to be a part of a theater troupe that would travel all around Texas doing different plays like Macbeth, The Sins of Sir Juana, all types of stuff. So, but never auditioned for TV.
That's cool. All right, Doug, you're up.
All right. I got 3 kids, ages 2, 4, and 6. I also saw Randy Couture in a hotel, but in California. And I have ran a full marathon. Number 3. I ran 5Ks. Yeah, I was young when I saw Randy Couture. He was
Man.
training in a pool, but they had it all locked off, so we could only see him through the glass, and he was just punching underneath the water. So that was crazy.
I was like, he's piggybacking.
yeah. So I switched it up.
Man,
It was going to be
good.
a Jim Tomei fact. Yeah, I've ran 5Ks, but no full marathons, and my 3 kids are 2, 4, and 6, and they are the best things in the world.
All right, Josh.
All right. I helped to open the newest park in Disneyland, the Disney's California Adventure.
Ooh, okay.
I know how to knit, and another hobby of mine is blacksmithing.
Totally blacksmithing is true.
Blacksmithing is the lie.
Oh, man, Josh, dude, just juked every one of us.
I
Man.
worked for the Disneyland Resort for almost 10 years. I grew up down in LA. I did help to open the new park and wrote a lot of the training manuals for the attractions over there. And I know how to knit, weave, sew, spin, yarn, but blacksmithing's on my list. Unfortunately, my wife will attest to this. I am a serial hobbyist in that I start new hobbies just enough to learn how to do something basically, and then I move on to something new. So blacksmithing's on the list, but it's nothing I've ever done.
Yeah, you spend enough time where you spend a lot of money and then you ditch it.
That's the one.
I'm with you, brother. Oh, it's like, is this something you're actually going to get into, or are you just going to give it up later? It's like, no.
Don't get into Warhammer. That's all I'll say.
Unfortunately, I really enjoyed the stories, but I don't think I can pull off $50 for a plastic
Dude,
minifigure.
it's such a money sink.
Yeah, Legos were my thing. I had to cut it off. I was like collecting all the Star Wars helmets, the Bowser. Like they're all on the other side of this wall.
Yeah, you can't see the two behind me.
There's a giant Lego Falcon mock on my coffee.
Yes. All right, Zeke, you're up. Oh, well, hold on. No, I'll leave it as a surprise. It's very close. Very close.
All right. First one. I was homeschooled and never went to college. I hate broccoli and oatmeal cookies. I have worked as a busboy, dishwasher, contractor, and farmhand all at the same time.
What was the first one?
I was homeschooled and never went to college. The lie is number 2. I love broccoli and oatmeal cookies.
Yes, I knew there was hope for you.
1 and 3 just went together so perfectly.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So Zeke had 4 points. Josh had 3. Chris had 4. I had 4, and Doug had 5. So Doug is our winner. Yay!
Oh
Okay.
wow!
So-
I thought it was.
So as the victor, where are we at? Here we go. I'm going to give you a choice of 3 books, and you ruined it because I know you already own one. This was the one that I think you already own.
I own that one.
This was another one I think you already own.
I already own.
So the 3 I'm going to throw up is Andrew Meredith's Collation Saga. I'm going to throw up A.M. Wiley's The Heart Taker and T.A. Bruno's Down Below Beyond. So you get to pick.
The first one.
Okay. All
I can't
right.
remember.
Yes, this one by Andrew Meredith.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I was
Coming your way.
meaning to pick. I wanted to pick up the first book of that series anyway, so that is perfect.
Good. Well, and everybody, I'm not everybody gets a prize kind of guy. I don't think everybody gets a medal. I definitely don't. But I'm gonna send everybody a copy of Weird Space that doesn't already have it, and everybody that does already have it, Doug, I'm gonna send you number 2.
Hold on, I'm getting number 2 sent to me.
I'm sending you something else.
Take my gift.
I'm sending you Heart Taker as well. How about that?
Okay, there we go. Weird
Okay.
Space, though, guys, is
Yes, Weird Space. It's so good.
amazing.
It's so much fun. It's super fast. So I'm gonna. I think he actually offers the ebook for free on his website. But I want to get physical copies into your hands because, man, I've loved this book so much, and he's such a good dude. I've talked to him back and forth. He's such a good guy. And this is one of those books where I'm like, okay, this isn't specifically like Christian fiction, but this is just fiction written by a Christian, and it is top tier. So good. So everybody's getting a copy of this, and I'll get everybody's information later.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay. And so just to kind of wrap things up, does anybody have any sort of, this was always that awkward thing where we're like, does anybody have any questions for me? Because I'm nobody. Okay. But does anybody have any questions for anybody here? So like, I want to pick at Doug for a minute and say, what made you decide to turn the camera around?
To record myself or to record myself cleaner? Turn it around on me or turn it around from taking pictures?
What made you decide to go, you know what? I need my book opinions out there. I think there's value to what I have to say, and I think maybe other people will find value in it. Like, what was that? What was that Rubicon?
So 5 years ago is when I started, but it was just pictures and captions. And I started reading because I was a big video game player, huge Destiny player. I mean, I played too much Destiny. And once kids happened, I shucked it out the window. For me, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. So if I had video games, I would play them and it's easily accessible. And I can play them and ignore people, right? And that would mean ignoring my kids. So that's when I've always been a reader, but I kind of went full force into reading. And then when I was reading a lot, I'm like, I kind of want to share my thoughts. And for 4 years of sharing my thoughts with pictures, I started to get into editing photos, and it was driving me absolutely mad and putting me into so many slumps. So I said, you know what? I just want to record myself now. I'm going to do no editing outside of like auto edits, essentially, which I've now edited a little. And I just wanted to talk about books, but I was still talking about the same books that I was before, which I was kind of growing out of. I was afraid to share my faith in my fiction. I was a lot of names before faith and fiction in those 5 years. And then it was my son who just told me, my 6-year-old son told me, not my 2-year-old son. He can't talk good. But yeah, I posted one book about faith, and I was talking to him about it. I'm like, I just don't know if I can do it. I'm afraid, I'm not a theologian. And I know it's not cool in the fiction space to talk about faith, or maybe not cool, but it's not the common thing. And he just said, do it. And I just kind of went all in finally from there. He saw one of my videos, loved that I made the video. So I'm like, I gotta keep this up. He loves it. He's getting me to talk about good things and things that I love in good ways. And that's kind of how it all started and weaved to where it is today.
Is there one specific video or post that you put effort into that just did not land or reach people like you were hoping?
Every single picture that I took for 4 of those years, yeah. I put a lot of effort into those photos and words. But video wise, I think it was. I mean, I put more effort into every video before I decided to randomly make Christian masterpieces that everyone should read. And I would edit them. I would put filters on them. I would do all this stuff. And for that video, I said, you know what? I'm going to videotape myself. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to speak from the heart and just kind of be more real with the video rather than like filtering my voice and filtering the video. And that was the first video that I believe I did that for. And it just, I don't know what happened. It took off. And I went from I'm still small, from having 1,500 followers for 5 years to now like 8,000 followers in 2.5 weeks. So,
which is awesome, dude. Like,
yeah,
congratulations. That's awesome.
yeah. And Chris Pratt followed that
Now
one.
Chris
Like,
Pratt's following.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris,
Dude.
and I thought he followed me off of one of my bad, completely edited videos about Terminal List because it said followed by Real, and I clicked on it, and it was at the Christian fiction, the Christian masterpiece. I was like, whoa, that's cool that he just saw that. So I was like, oh, okay. I think there's a hole in the book community, and I'd say the Christian community of like that merge of faith and fiction. And it seems that, I mean, I've had so many people reach out and say, oh, I love that they're in this space, because it's typically a female space. If females are, men lead their families to the church, but to me, it seems like, at least online, females are very vocal, especially in the book community, when it comes to their religion and their fiction work. So it's been interesting. It's been fun, and it's cool to see that so many people actually want that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I looked at you the other day, or looked at your page the other day. I'm like, whoa, man! Like, it took off because you were at, like, I remember it was like a few weeks ago or something. You had posted like, hey, thanks for like 3,000 subs or so, or what follows or whatever. Then I was like, okay, he's at like 8,000 now. So
it's crazy. And the cool thing is there's so many people that also aren't religious, or maybe not even seeking, that have been following me before I took this plunge. And that was funny. It was a fear of mine. I was like, I'm gonna lose these like 6 people that I like, that if I start talking too much about my faith and my posts to follow me. But like, one of them, who's a pretty much bigger than me, like, reached out to me and said, hey, I love what you're doing. He's like, we may not see eye to eye, but I appreciate how you go about it and what you're talking about, and that you're authentic. So it's that was really
Are you
cool.
worried that Chris Pratt's gonna go back and look at your review?
No, for Terminal List, I think I gave.
You did.
I did good Terminal List, but
I would have deleted it immediately though. I was just like, oh, I definitely didn't read that. That's awesome. It's been really cool to see, but well deserved, well earned. You know, I'm not one of those just gonna praise you for no reason at all. But you can definitely see. And I think it tends to be a common trend across the board is the people who are genuine tend to have a much higher retention rate with their audience, one way or the other, you know? And I think very similarly, it's like, it's you just kind of like, you realize it's like, okay, I'm a guy that's sitting in my basement, or I'm a guy that's sitting in my bedroom filming stuff. You know, we're just regular guys that want to talk to other regular people about things that have impacted us in a specific way. And maybe that you can find joy in, and maybe that we can encourage you and edify you in. And so I think that has really set you apart, if that makes sense. You know, I'm not just trying to be like, oh, Doug's just the greatest, but like, truly your content is genuine. And so it has, I think it resounds with people.
Authenticity, I found out. Like, I spent 5 years not being authentic, reading what everyone else reads, which that can be authentic to them, right? Like,
sure.
But to me, it wasn't authentic. And I think authenticity is huge. And I think also perseverance. Like, I mean, it says that I only have like 170 videos or posts made, but like, if I didn't remove a bunch, like, I have like 5,000 posts made. Like, it's a crazy amount. Like, I was posting like 2-3 times a week a day for a long time. So it's perseverance, trial and error, but most importantly, be authentic.
Yeah.
People eat up authenticity, and everyone here is authentic, and it takes one random post, the algorithm, to find you, right? That beast.
Now, I'm gonna have to post something on Instagram, because I don't know if it was something that you shared of mine or what, but like, all of a sudden I started getting flooded with Instagram followers. I've got like 200, which is because I only use it for like talking to you guys, and I'll post like a written review. That's it. And pretty much only use it to catalog the books that I've read. And all of a sudden I had a couple of 100 people follow me. I'm like, oh no.
If someone asked me a lot of people ask me for fantasy recs, I'm like, I don't read a crazy amount of fantasy anymore. Like a lot of the fantasy that I have read, I would not recommend now. Like the stuff that I read that wasn't authentic, I can't. So that's also been hard because I'm like, I've read a ton of books, but like really I've only would recommend 100 of them now. I got to rebuild back up that recommendations.
Yeah.
So whenever someone asks me, hey, I'm looking for a fantasy book or a sci-fi book, I'm always like, Reformed Reader and I Sam Wise are the two that I looked up to help push me. So don't know if that was anything.
Yeah,
but
it's been so cool to get to talk to some of these guys because I think a lot of them are similar to us, that like we're just guys that like to read books, and there's not really a lot of people around us that like the kind of books that we read. And so we want to just get to talk to people, you know, like my wife is probably tired of hearing me talk about Hadrian Marlowe. So
that's why I started my book account 5 years ago too, not just because I wanted. I started reading and stopped playing games because of family, but I'm like, I can't bore my wife with all this.
Thankfully, my son is just like, he's like, tell me about your book, Dad, and I'm like, no, you can't even read it for like 10 years. He's like, I don't care. Tell me about it. I'm like, okay, well, guess what happened? You know, so he's here for it. But other than him, like nobody cares. So I was like, okay, I got to find somebody that I'm talking to. And then it was Talking Stories channel that they were doing those monthly, I can't remember what he called it, town square videos where people would post something like you could share something. And so I was like, I'm not going to do that. Just because that's weird, you know, like, I'm not going to record myself and put myself on the internet. That's weird. And I decided there's some radio hosts that I listen to locally that recommended people. They said, look, if you're going to call in, you need to be entertaining or informative. And if you're neither, then you don't need to call. And they weren't ugly about it, but they were like, look, you can only do so many happy birthday shout outs or whatever. And so I just sort of took that and ran with it. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do something like that, I want to try to figure out, can I be entertaining or do I need to be informative? And maybe I can do a little bit of both. And so it just ended up me being like having to DNF books all the time. I say all the time. This year has been by far the worst. But before that, I was DNFing a couple books a year, maybe. And it was just like, I would be 20, 30 hours into a book, and then I'd get to the end and I'd have to put it down. And I'm like, man, am I the only one? You know, because it was like, I'm the only one reading these books. And then all the circles that I'm talking to are talking about how great these books are. And like convictionally, I'm struggling. And so I was like, well, you know, I wish there was something out there. And I started looking some stuff up, and there was a couple of channels, and I reached out to a couple of them, which YouTube won't push those channels, by the way. They bury those. And so I reached out to a couple of them, and they told me, they're like, we didn't get traction. And so it wasn't worth our time. And I'm like, but like, I need that, you know, like, and so anyway, that's when I was talking to some brothers I go to church with, some very good friends. It was about Stormlight. I was struggling big time with that last book. And I just become disillusioned over the past few years. I was probably way too harsh on it, which is, you know, I get it. But it was that where I was like, man, I'm just struggling because now, like, I trusted him as an author. And now I just feel like that safety net that I had with him, even if, you know, I read this book and I had to DNF it, I could always come back to these books. And now it just seems like it's gone. And they're like, well, you should tell somebody about it. And I'm like who? You know? And then, so they're like, yeah, maybe you should do that. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And so I just put up my first video and then got blasted in the comment section, which is great, you know, cause I love like roast me. I think it's funny. I will,
but it means you're getting views.
That's right. Dude, to this day, that video has the highest view count of any video that I've done. It's got like 6,000 views because, and 90% of them are negative. But I will say there were a couple of people early on that reached out to me and they're like, I thought I was the only one. And that really, affected me in a positive way. You know, they're like, man, it's not just this, but I don't want to read the Christian fiction that's out there because a lot of it's not very good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a good answer. And so then we started feeding each other books back and forth. And then guys like Sam messaged me, and Sam and Preacher and you guys, you know, Preacher started that group for us. And so it was me and you and Doug, or me and you and Matt and Books of Bellwood and some of those guys. And then it just sort of seemed like all of a sudden, all these Christian content creators, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all like, it was like, well, I didn't know you guys were Christian. And it wasn't like they were hiding it or anything. It's just, it never really came up. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, like the vast majority of people kind of in this space are not just Christian, but they're pretty devout. Now we may disagree on certain doctrines and whatever. And that's like, I'm fine with that. But it's nice to see, because before it kind of felt like I was on an island, right? And I was just like, okay, I'm just surrounded by negativity, and not necessarily like towards me, but it just seemed like, it just seemed like I don't know that I can keep enjoying fantasy books, especially not the new ones. And I'm just thankfully have been proven wrong pretty quick, you know. Sam today, he cracked me up because Preacher started that Discord, and it's a pretty good group, and we're all in there picking at each other or whatever. And somebody had said something about one of my videos, and she was just so nice. And she said, I love your videos. I'm like, every time somebody says that they watch my videos, I'm mortified because I'm like, oh no, like, what did I say? Because I guarantee you it was unintelligent. And then, so I posted that, and then Sam he just sent me a private message. He's like, you remember that time that you said that Empire of Silence, you DNF'd it because it was woke? I'm like, I know. Okay. I'm here for it. You know? So it's cool that to get to reach out and see that, like, we're actually pretty spread out all over the place, but we're actually a pretty large voice in this space, which is awesome, you know?
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't had one negative comment since posting a bunch of Christian viewed reviews and recommendations. It's not one. So that's a shout out to Instagram, because I've gotten them on YouTube, and I've gotten them on TikTok, which I'm off that platform now. I can't. Yeah. I was like, but Instagram, YouTube, not
man.
One.
The YouTube loves the comment section. they do, and it's some of them can be just absolutely fantastic. Sam actually told me about I DNF'd Sledge versus the Labyrinth, which that book was awesome, but it's just too heavy for me, at least for the time. And I'm not saying I won't revisit it, but I just needed to put it down for the time being. And so I'd posted the review, and I didn't even tag, you know. Anyway, apparently the author had seen it, and he posted it on his Twitter. And so Sam messaged me, and he was like, hey, do you follow him on Twitter? I'm like, dude, I'm on Twitter, but I don't even know how it works. So he's like, go look at it, because you're getting bashed. So I go over there, dude, and it was so funny. Like, the comments were so good. They were just, it was excellent. And they were all like, one person put like, I bet it's just some bald white guy down in the South, probably Alabama. You know, I was like, hey, yes, it was me, and I am. I was like, 100%, you nailed it. You know? But it's been so cool, because after, like, seeing him post that, which he didn't mean anything malicious by it. He just put, I'm sorry that my book hit too hard, because that's sort of the premise of his book. So he's like, I'm actually taking this 1-star review and using it as like publicism, and it seemed to work. He was promoting his book with it. He's like, yeah, this book had too much language and hit too hard for this guy. And so I commented, I was like, hey, first and foremost, the comments are awesome. I am absolutely here for it. And so he sent me a message afterwards, and he said, man, you're a jerk. And I was like, why? And he said, because you went on there and you were nice to me, and now I feel bad. So we've had some good fun, but he was like, even the negative comments, there's been some that are pretty rough. on Goodreads reviews and stuff, and that's fine. But the ones where I get to actually interact with people, it's so much fun, and it always ends up being good, because part of it is I just decide like this is going to end well, and so I'm going to have a good conversation with this person, and we don't necessarily agree, but we both walk away and smiling or laughing or cutting up, and they're like, okay, yeah, I really don't like your opinions on this book, but yeah, I understand. And so I'm like, okay, cool. That's all I ask, is just, not everybody looks at everything through the same lens, and which is 100% why I know that, not my perception of these books and stuff isn't going to resonate with everybody. It's probably not going to resonate with a lot of people. But I do hope that, that maybe it can be a good resource for somebody, if they're like, I'm on the fence about this because I don't know what's in this. Like, I guess I'll take the plunge and we'll find out. Well,
Actually,
go ahead.
I had a question. So
yeah, hit me.
I have two. One's like probably going to generate a good amount of discussion. The other one is just more of a like, hey, why is this a thing? But we'll get into that. So my first one is, it's interesting because, Doug, you have faith and fiction, so you do both sets of books. You do theological works, and then you also do fiction, which I think is awesome. But for you, Josh, I know that your channel is more of like, hey, I'm reading these fantasy books, I'm reading these fiction books from the lens of a Christian under the authority of the scriptures. Would you ever consider doing more theological works in the future? Or do you think you would just stick with just fantasy? Like, what's your take on that?
Yes. I'm not opposed to it. Like every review that you guys have seen me post this year, has been probably a book that I had just finished, with a couple of exceptions. And so I'll post a review of whatever it is that I'm reading. The challenging part for me with theological books is that I really need to take my time with them. I've got some R.C. Sproul, some John MacArthur stuff. I've got all kinds of stuff, and that stuff is so rich that each chapter I'm like, okay, I've got to get in the right headspace for this. I've got to really spend some time and delve. Mere Christianity. That one it's a very, very, very good book, and it's so good, but it is so rich, and it's not written for the layman, right? Like the prose is a little more difficult to grasp. And so I'm just trying to steep myself in it. So I'm reading currently like 4 theological books, because it might take me 6 months to a year to finish one. But then I'm like, okay, I will 100% do that. But I will say I will probably be a lot more gentle with those books, right? Because like, who am I to disagree with C.S. Lewis and RC and John MacArthur? Like, oh, well, I don't agree with him here, even though he spent his, 90 plus years devoted to this very thing. And yet I think I know better. Like, so I'm probably be like, this book is good. Read this. So I do have a video that I want to put out, which is 5, maybe 10 theological books that I really want to recommend to everybody. But then each time I go to make the list, I'm like, I don't know that I would recommend that to everybody. Just as an example, has everybody in here read Screw Tape Letters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Screw Tape is a difficult read. It is not something that I would just hand to every Christian, because I think a new Christian in particular, it speaks around a lot of things. And so it's one of those things where it gives you a really good inside view of how the enemy works and how he sort of operates. And I had my wife read some of it, and she was like, this terrifies me. So that's part of it. So it's one of those where I'm like, this is an excellent book that I think anybody that's interested in reading like some more theologically deep novels, I think this is an excellent take, because it sort of does blend the two of the faith and fiction with a really cool twist. But it is not an easy read. And so I'm like, is this something I would recommend to everybody? So then I've just struggled with making the list. But you know what? You may have just encouraged me to just go, here it is. I'm going to put it out there and we'll see what happens.
That's really
cool.
So
long-winded answer of me saying yes.
That's cool. Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed just your perspective on just fiction books in general. I'll probably say something toward the end, just to say how much I've enjoyed that. But here's a second question, and as content creators, I would really love to hear your guys' take on this. So one thing I've noticed, especially in the short form content with reels, is a lot of guys will do this. They'll go, "Hey everybody, I really have just been reading this book and it's been so great. It's really impacted me so much. And they'll do that for like a solid like 30 seconds in a reel, and if it's in like a longer form, they'll do this the whole time. And then they'll either do this, or I've seen one guy go, and I really like it. It's been really great." And they'll slowly turn it down. Is there what's the reason you think that's for? And I think I can guess why, but two, is there anything else that you've seen as content creators that kind of bugs you that people do that you've tried not to do?
I can chime in on that one real quick.
Yeah, do it.
So I used to always hold it up. And once I got into taking my content creation semi-seriously, because I don't know if I'm a content creator. I just film my face for 10 minutes and cut it down to 3. But I started holding it like that, not for 30 seconds. And I know who you're talking about when they like Jedi, reveal it. But I found out that even me, if I see a book that I have a preconceived notion on that I know, I'm like, I don't want to read that. I've heard what other people's had to say. I had my own thoughts on it. I'm not going to read it. If I saw that right away, I'm going to skip past, and I'm not going to read it. And that might be a book that I really want to read, because my preconceived notion may be way off. So I started doing it for like 5 seconds, or for just like one little sentence of it, and then revealing it to get that attention, because a lot of books that you may not think you're going to read, you may end up reading. So that was mine, because I didn't like it too, but some people do hold it there forever.
Yes, it's 100% for retention, and then not across the board, but I would say generally speaking, it's for retention. And when you get the retention on your videos, you're actually, like Instagram and YouTube they incentivize that, right? It's like the way the algorithm works is it's not just how many people click on it, it's how many people stay with it, and then for how long. And so the longer they can get you to stay with their video, the more their videos can be promoted to other people. I understand. It bugs me too, but that's why when Doug did his, he does his for suspense and to draw you in, to give you the reveal, right? But when you sit there and you're dangling, like, I got you $1, and you're dangling in front of the viewer the whole time, what you don't want to do is annoy your audience, right? And so, like, I'll be the first one to say I make top 10 videos, and I also watch top 10 videos. So how many of us, when we watch a top 10 video, do we just scroll through the different books, right? It's like, okay, his top 10 sci-fi books. All right, this one. Okay, this one. Like, I don't have to hear everything he has to say about it. I just want to know what books I need to add to my list. Like, it is so that's part of it. But at the same time, I think, like with Doug in particular, because of his authenticity, that's why people are staying. And so what you'll find is the people that are almost coercing their audience to stay with them, they don't stay. And so it's a bit of a trade-off, because I get that my videos aren't going to be sent out to the masses, but for the people, like, I don't have a ton of subscribers, but in the grand scheme of things, but the subscribers I have, like, are you guys, and I know you guys, and I talk to you guys on a weekly basis. And so, you kind of, it's like, what do you want out of it? So one of the things that I guess for part 2, like that I dislike, and it's just a personal preference, is I don't like on YouTube in particular when everybody talks about the same thing. And what I mean is, for instance, there's a certain video, and this is no, you have to throw a disclaimer for everything, but this is not me saying I don't like your video because you do this. But there was this video that came out about, do we all talk about the same books, or are we all reading the same books? And then everybody put a video out about, are we all reading the same books and why? And everybody really kind of had a similar opinion. And the reason why they're doing that makes sense, is because people are watching those and they want to hear other people's opinion about that thing. Part of it for me is I'm like, could you not come up with a different topic? I'm like, I'm not going to add anything to that conversation personally that hasn't already been said, and probably a lot better. So I'm just going to refrain, and I'll just post another book review or something. So I kind of know where my audience is, but I also know the vast majority of people that are watching my videos are watching them for the reviews, whereas for everybody else, it's sort of the inverse. For like BookTube, they're wanting top 10 videos, they're wanting collaboration videos, they're wanting that kind of stuff, which I love to watch. But I know that for the people that come to my channel, they're like, I'm coming to hear what your opinion is about this book that I'm potentially going to spend money on. And so that's where I need to kind of spend my time and energy, is to focus on that. And at the same time, that's why I was like, well, I'll post one book review every week, and then I'll do one fun video. That way, hopefully I'm a channel that you guys can trust as far as it's going to have clean content. I'm going to make fun of myself all the time because that's what's funny to me. So, you know, I don't want to just bombard you with book reviews because I don't read that fast. So I'll on the other end of it, we'll do a top 10 video, and then we'll also do a book review. So I think for the vast amount of BookTube, I wish we would see more differentiation between the channels because it can turn into that echo chamber. Just depend and very easily. And I'm guilty of it. If I see a video that I'm like, hey, that's a cool idea, and it's easy for me, I don't have to put a lot of effort into pre-production and planning and writing stuff out. I can just kind of wing it. Like, I'm here for it. That's why I do the tag videos. They're fun. They're easy. I can get them out. People are entertained by it. But I don't want to overload people with it, if that makes sense.
I've had a special guest for the last 2 hours just crawling around.
I'm here for it, man. I love some of my favorite videos I've posted is when my son's in the background and he's like crawling, and then rather than try to cut the bottom of the video out, I'll like hone in on him where he's trying to sneak out. It's so much fun.
Trust me, as somebody who like I said before, 29 and 20, I miss that age. I really miss that age. And believe me when I say it goes by way too fast.
It does. Every year gets faster too.
Well, anybody got anything else? We're all talked out. We're like, Josh, please be quiet.
My throat's just screaming at me.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Genuinely, I cannot thank you guys enough. So appreciative of you. You guys are just awesome. Good friends. Loved getting to see you face to face. And if the time ever comes to where we can actually maybe meet up sometime, that would be just awesome to get to go and just hang out and go grab a burger, or not pizza for Doug. We get him some chicken fingers or something.
Just take the pizza, fold it over. It's a sandwich now,
So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Guys, thank you so much for coming and watching and listening to us ramble for a while. I appreciate each and every one of you, but in particular you four. Thank you guys for taking the time. Genuinely appreciate you. Thank you guys so much, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.